Good evening, friends. Today, we have a very inspiring tale from a woman who has climbed the ladder of success after facing various obstacles, Meenakshi Singh. She is the president of ITV Network, Government and Retail India News and NewsX. Welcome, Meenakshi ji, to Candid
Good
Meena.
evening.
Viewers have been
Good
looking
evening,
forward to
Meena. Pleasure
hear
to
you
be on
talk.
your show.
Thank you, Meenakshi. And let me tell you, friends, more than this avatar that you see in front of you, the Meenakshi that I know, and I knew, was a friend when I joined Twitter in 2010. One of the few
Right.
women who was very bold and eloquent. Later, we became friends in Facebook, and I've watched how she has held together the fragile relationships that make a family strong while succeeding in her professional career as well. She's a woman I can relate to, and you should hear her side of the story. She has undergone several trials and tribulations to come to this stage. So welcome, Meenakshi, and very glad to have you,
Thank
with
you,
us.
Meena. It's a pleasure to be on your show. In fact,
And
going out from my channel and giving an interview, something good.
yeah, so
So,
friends, it's been quite some time, and when we reconnected, the feeling of being knowing each other for a long time has returned again. So a big thank you for that, Meenakshi. And
thank you.
also, Meenakshi is also known as Meenu or Meena, just like me. So, and
And
we
we
share
share our
birthdays.
birthdays a day apart, and
Yeah,
we are liberals.
yes. Meenu, let's start with your tale. Okay.
Yeah.
What viewers would like to know about you is that I think about so many years back, you were just a newly married woman, okay, a bahu, and with a lot of dreams in your eyes. Could you take us from that stage onto slowly through your different stages?
Sure, Meena. So this is going to be my 50th year.
Yeah,
Okay. So this 50 years had a blend of all. It was a kind of roller coaster. So you have asked me one question about after my wedding, my dreams. It got shattered very soon. And before I could realize, I was a mother of two children. Okay. And I had nowhere to go. Nowhere to go in the sense that, in the culture I grew up, there was a kind of, say, pampering, and you are brought up with a thought, okay, so you're married, your doli is sent, your arthi will come out, that kind of
yeah.
sanskars are
I think in
given.
Bihar, isn't it?
That's a Bihari,
Yes,
yes. So
yeah,
I
yeah,
grew up in a Bihari family. I'm a Bihari.
yeah,
So, but my parents stood in a very different manner. They were educated enough. They did not give up to any kind of blackmail. The day I shared my experience with them, it was the end of the road for the wedding. They got me back, they got my children back, and then they gave me a chance to resettle in life again. Okay. So, what I feel, Meena, is if you cannot rectify, don't justify your mistake that you need to be in the wedding for this reason,
yeah.
right? And while I came back, and that was my hometown is Jamshedpur.
Yeah.
I was born there. I grew. I studied there. I was
Was
married
it
there.
an arranged marriage?
No, that is the reason I failed uh, with full marks,
So did you
because
not
many
know?
times,
Yeah, did you not know
so
the
I
person you
was
married?
kept in dark for many things.
Yeah, yeah,
But I had that how do I tell my parents about this mistake?
yeah.
But then I realized, instead of justifying my mistake, why don't I rectify it? So what I did was, I went ahead and I shared it with my parents, my father, my mother, who is as firebrand as I am. She's so fierce. She did not allow me to go back. And then was the fight, that what happens for my life? Where do I go? What happens to me?
So
Okay.
Meenu, can you tell us what were the things that went on in your mind once you came back and your parents were encouraging you, but what was going exactly on in your mind? Did you feel that your life had ended or something like that?
Yes, I was kind of confused, because the society which I was living in, when I was back to my parents' place, the folks used to come back and tell me, uh, Why is she here? When is she going to go back? Has she been divorced? Has her husband left her? Will she stay here? Will she ask a stay in your stake in the property? Lots of things. The society, the mean-minded society
Yeah.
who just wants to have fun in whatever ways they can. So that was the time my mother took a stand, my father took a stand. She is going to stay here. Her daughter is also going to stay here. Her son is also going to stay here. Now, whosoever had a problem, they can have a problem. So they did not care about it. Then my father asked me, what do you want to do? I said, I want to study again,
Yeah.
because I had a totally different stream of English honors. And in last 15 years, after I left my studies, education, it was a computer age.
Yeah.
So I went and I enrolled in IGNO for BBA. And then from there on and so on and so forth, I did not look back. Again, I started working in Jamshedpur. But the family where I was married, one specific person to whom I was married, he was something, he never allowed me to settle in any job there.
Yeah.
Because that was a kind of slap on him. If she starts working, she's never going to come back. So he tried to put all obstacles away in my career. That was the time I decided I'll leave the city.
Which city are you talking about?
This is 2005.
In which city?
Jamshedpur.
Jamshedpur.
Yes. And my journey from Jamshedpur to Delhi is just 16 years. And I came to Delhi, and I still remember my mother was, walking with my luggage. And that was Purushottam Express. When I deboarded the train, I was looking at the New Delhi, that yellow nameplate, and I was just looking at it. So my mother went ahead and she looked at it. Like, what is she looking at? She came back. She thought I must be reading some advertisement or something interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So she came back. She said, what are you looking at? I said, I'm making a promise to this city. हम हार के अब वापस नहीं जाएंगे. So she was like, Abhi to tumne pair rakha hai. You are, in just a matter of 5 minutes, you're making a promise that you're not going to go back. I said, yes. And then with one hand, she was holding the luggage, and the next hand, she said, chalo. And all the way to the stairs, I kept looking at it. No matter what, my destination is New Delhi. I'm not going to go back.
So what was so
Even if I
interesting?
die, I'll die here, but I'm not going to go back as a loser.
So what was so charming about New Delhi that you wanted to go there?
No, see, when you get a place to prove, because I was not allowed, there were lots of obstacles in my hometown, lots. Apart from my parents, there was no support.
Could you name some obstacles so that other women also know what?
The person whom I was married to,
yeah,
he was the major obstacle. I used to teach in a school. They went and stoned in that school.
Yeah.
Wherever I used to try to get for a job, I knew that this is going to continue.
Okay.
Okay. So
was he a well-known person there?
Yes, he was influential. He was influential, and coming out from his influence was not that easy.
Yeah, yeah.
But then it was good they did that. It was good. I'm grateful to them that they did not allow me to, be restricted to that area. And that was the time I decided to leave the city. And I came to Delhi with my mom. I started from GE as a process associate, and I started my training because education and the other world had moved very far in 16 years. So daytime, I used to go for my coaching classes. Evening time, I used to go for my office. And that was the time I was settled in Gurgaon. Gurgaon was growing up. Okay, so I was growing with the city. The Millennium City was coming up, and so was my Millennium Dreams.
I can understand because, when I went to Dubai, it was the same thing. Dubai was just growing, and that time when I went there, it was all mostly sand. But with Dubai growing up, I also grew in my own professional career, just as you say. Yeah, please.
It happens. You instantly connect. I saw the jungles today. You can see a concrete building there. You can see high rises there. Same happens to your dream.
Yes.
So what I felt, Meena, was my father and my mother who stood by my side.
Yeah.
And my mother took care of my children while they left me to work for myself,
Yeah.
because they knew that I'm not going to look back.
Yeah.
And it happened within a matter of, I think, 2-3 years. I was on a
Here,
stable platform.
here, I'll just ask you a question, Meenu. See, when you were working, since you were single, did you face any problems as a single woman?
I did. Lots of problem came my way. Not only as a single mother, as a woman, it was not
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah, that's
I
what I'm
was
saying.
not used to. See, today's age is a Google age. You need to go
Yeah.
anywhere, you just Google anything, you'll reach that place.
Yeah.
But that time, I'll share one very interesting story with you. I had purchased a 10 rupee map
Yeah.
of Delhi.
Uh,
If I have to go to some place, how do I identify the place? I had
yeah.
no idea. I have no godfather here.
Yeah.
So that is how I used to locate. And today, when I see my children, they go on Google and they, just simply go to a place. I
Yeah.
tell them, look, this is the map I used to keep with myself. And then life was not easy. Okay,
Yeah.
because those days, if you remember, Meena, things are not good. Midnight stuff used to happen. Some cases were, very VIP cases had happened.
Yeah.
So Delhi was not safe.
Yeah.
So my father told me a question, beta, you going, but Delhi safe nahi hai. I said, I won't be safe in Jamshedpur also if I walk alone at 1 o'clock midnight.
Yes.
So no place in the country is safe unless and until you are safe.
Yeah.
You're safe and you plan accordingly.
Yeah. You follow
So
the rules.
you follow the rules. You know how to go out. It is
Yes.
not about being a feminist, or it's not that. It is how you plan your day, how you plan your entire schedule. If I go drunk and on the road at 1:32, so no one is going to save me.
Yeah. A
No one.
question here. Yeah. A question here, Meenu. They're saying Biharis always score the top in IIM and IIT. How come Meenakshi still the status is so poor? The state is so rich in mineral. Nalanda University was there. What went wrong? Your thoughts on it?
My thoughts on it, he's correct. If you see all big IS, IPS, IITs, Biharis top that. They are very intelligent. But at the same time, there is a mentality which you are brought up with. Okay, so there's one stage which is a very literate one. There is one which is a middle class. Okay, so this happens in every family. Even the person who asked this question, he'll also go through the same. Okay, these happen. Like my parents, they were bold enough to take a stand. They were bold enough to fight with the society that we don't care about you. My mother, she never allowed me, like anyone asking questions, she used to stand by like my defense lawyer.
How educated was your mother?
She was 12th. She did her 12th.
Yeah.
And
But
she
see her,
was
but
married
see her
while she
wisdom.
was a graduate.
Yeah. And look at her wisdom. See, this is the same with my mother. My mother wanted to go to college, but because of marriage, she had to leave, leave studies. But
My mother enrolled, but she couldn't complete her graduation.
yeah, but I consider my mother the most intelligent woman, strong and intelligent. You don't need education to make you strong. And
likewise, my father also, it's not a saying. A divorced daughter is anyways better than a dead daughter.
Yeah.
Right? So there's no point crying on a dead daughter. Fight for your daughter. Okay, things have gone wrong. Give it a chance. You should, instead of crying, just show the world. Yeah. That's exactly when I came to Delhi, the dreams were there. And I said, okay, wait, I'll show you. Mera din bhi aayega. I remember when I had no idea about how the city works. I came from a city where the bus stops and you come down gently. Here in a running bus, you need to get down, lots of stuff. I had no idea about the city. Then on every festival, when people used to, there were families around, they used to, children playing Holi or Deepavali. I used to miss my children.
Yeah.
And I was like, for me, nothing was. So what I did, instead of crying, I invested my time more on my work. Okay, instead of sitting home on a, say, puja and crying for my children, I used to go to my office.
Yeah.
So in Delhi, I still remember and still have those certificates. I have 3/4 zero outage. That means I was also working on a Saturday and a Sunday. No holiday for 180 days continued. Not even a Saturday or a Sunday. My mind was tuned in such a way that get up, go to work. Come back, come back. So a friend writes, I'm a childhood friend.
Yeah.
Oh yes, she is Seema. She's my childhood friend. She
Great.
knows me.
Welcome,
They
Seema.
have
Yeah.
seen my struggle from my wedding to my journey so far. Seema
Yeah.
has seen that.
So,
So that's how
yeah.
life is.
So Meena, here, what I want to ask you is that, see, as you were growing in, in the different jobs that you were doing, what were the qualities that you recognized in yourself, self that proved to be your strengths?
Okay, I'll tell you something, Meena. I had a very strong memory power. I when I planned to leave the city. Actually, it happened in 2005 with my sister's wedding. So after my sister got married, it was me who was left. Okay, so my I wanted to leave the city, but somehow the things which were going around used to pull me back. You know, the courage, I was not gathering the courage.
Hmm.
Now what to do, what not to do, that was a big confusion.
Was it because you were single, or?
No, it was because I'll tell you, in the last say 12 years of my wedding, I was pulled back in such a manner
Hmm.
that I had lost my confidence. I was physically very weak.
Hmm.
I was actually physically, I was destroyed.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so that was what happened with me.
Hmm.
So that was it was a difficult decision for me to come here.
Yeah.
Not that easy, Meena.
Hmm.
But then once I made it a point, I never looked back.
Yeah.
So I banked on my memory. I banked on all the positive stuff I had. So what I realized was, I started thinking, what is the good things I have in myself? I said, I remember a lot. I have a very photogenic memory. If I see a paper, I'll remember that. So that's exactly where I started looking at stuff.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and I picked that up in my education, my classes. I
Hmm.
was from an art segment, but I migrated to a IT field.
Yeah.
Total opposite. They were poles apart. I used to run away from anything called science. But later that turned out to be my destiny. I used to hate maths, and Excel sheet became my life. Okay. So whatever is written, it happens to you and it comes to you in the correct time.
Yeah. Yeah. So
So my
here, Meena, could you just tell me, like, when you started your life there, though your parents were there to support you, you
My
know,
parents were in Jamshedpur. My
ah,
daughter was there till 2011.
okay,
She did her schooling from there because my mother, like, Delhi was not safe for children.
yeah,
Okay, so what I wanted was, I wanted my children to join me when they are
yeah,
capable of going to school, college,
yeah,
feed themselves, go to a nearby shop,
yeah,
fetch something, come back. They
yeah,
should be that organized and that sensible enough so that they can look at themselves when I'm away.
yeah.
Okay, that can only happen once you're a little matured.
Yeah.
So that came to me, Meena. If you are there on Facebook, you can find my daughter. She used to come to me during our vacation, go back crying, and we used to cry a lot on airports and railways. We have all those photographs there. So yes, and we
Yeah.
used to count that. Okay, 2011, 2 years left for 2011, 1 year left for 2011, so on and so forth. But when she came over, I got one piece of strength.
Mm.
Then came my another friend, which was my son. So there is a saying, हम तो अकेले चले राहे मंजिल मगर लोग जुड़ते गए कारवां बनता गया. Right, so
Very
I
true.
came
Very
here
true.
alone,
Very true.
and my children joined me. My parents were always there. They
Yeah.
were taking care
So
of my
here,
children.
yeah.
That
So
was
here,
kind of support.
yeah. So here, I'd like to ask you. See, when you were busy working, or with the children, uh, did you at some point miss having a partner, or when the children went to school or to college? Did you ever feel sort of a
I
gap?
missed my children. I missed them, seeing how they grew. I missed that. But then I tried to make up the most. When my daughter came here, I went with her to the college line, admission line. I took her to whatever I could from my way back from office. I used to ensure that I give her ample time because I'm not only working. So that was the time. Yes, I did. I missed the childhood. And that is where, I'll tell you, my source of inspiration is my daughter. So I'll share one very, emotional stuff. My daughter was not aware that I'm going to Delhi.
Yeah.
So she dressed up in the morning, and my father said that I told my father said that tell her that you're going to Delhi.
Yeah.
So I did not have the courage to tell her that I'm going to Delhi, and she was in class. She was just 7 years that time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I said, my mother said that she's going for treatment and she'll be back soon.
Yeah.
So my daughter was so intelligent. She said, Mom has taken all new dresses. She's not going for treatment, and her wardrobe is empty.
Oh.
She's going somewhere which you guys are not telling me.
Uh-huh.
So
And how
my
how
father was
old was
driving.
she?
We were on the
How
way
old?
to the station.
Yeah. How old was she at that time?
She was 7.5, 8 at that time.
Oh.
So my father was driving. So he said, "Isko sach bata do."
Mhm.
So I told her, "You want your mother to work?" She said, "Yes." I said, "Your mother is going to Delhi. She'll work and she'll get you there." So she kept quiet. She sat on my lap.
Yeah.
And then when the train came, on the railway station, I gave her all chocolates and all. She held it in her hand and she kept looking at me. And the moment the train was about to leave, she screamed in such a manner that whenever I used to sleep, Meena, in Delhi, and I used to feel tired or I'm giving up, I can't do it, I used to remember that scream. And I used to wake up. She screamed, "Mommy, don't go."
Yeah.
And my father was holding on to my daughter. My mother was holding on to me in the train. And I kept crying. My mother kept telling me, "Look, she'll join you soon. You have to work for her. You need to take care of that. Don't worry. We are there to take care of her." So I still remember that scream never allowed me to rest. And
that was what motivated you as well.
Motivated me. And plus, my father, he is not only, I learned everything from my father, the way he worked, even till date, at the age of 74, he works. He has a business, he runs that business. So I know that if he can do it, why can't I? So I learned it from him. The never giving up attitude. So what I missed, Meena, the most was my children, to see them grow. But now I try to compensate as much as I can. With my daughter, I'm reliving my life again.
Yeah. So here, see, one thing I've seen, see, in between my busy life as well, whenever I've seen pictures of your family and you, in Facebook, it has always made me very calm because, see, the way you have kept up, the fragile relationships, the traditions, and still, succeeded in what you did. I mean, that is remarkable. Every woman can't do it, And then I used to feel that, see, here's a woman who has, done everything with so much of courage.
Yes, to an extent, you're correct, Meena. So, as you said, that what did I miss the most? So, what you see is I try to compensate that missing part now with my children. I live each and every moment with them. I enjoy each and every celebration. Okay, so there is nothing like, okay, life has got over, it's finished. Now, what do? I keep crying, sulking. No. Move ahead in life. Don't justify your mistake, rectify it. And that's what I teach my children as well.
Yeah, Meena, see, a lot of the times, what is a woman or a man scared of in India is what society will say. Now, if you take that little clause out of your life, you are not scared again. If you don't care about what society says.
That is a mental block. You'll only find it in this country. People are there. They will enjoy each and everything. They will enjoy. If you're crying, they'll come and they'll hurt you more. If you are happy, they'll come. They'll stand by that, take that piece of cake which you are eating. That's it. Society never shares anything.
Yes.
Okay. They are only there to hurt you the most. Okay, so the mindset which we have grown up and the society which we have seen, what will the society say? You need to overcome that.
Yeah. Oh, there's one more person who knows you well. I know Meenu Di since my childhood. Nice to see her here. Preeti.
Yeah, so I can see them, and
Yeah.
yes, they have seen my struggle as well,
Yeah. So here,
and it's
let me
not
ask
that
you.
easy.
Let me ask you something, Meenu. Now I know. See, this is something every woman, every strong woman faces. Okay. You and I are also very well aware of it. When we do something good, okay, we are praised by perfect strangers, okay,
Yes,
but not one word comes out of our relatives to say that you have
right.
done well. Why is that?
I think it's not about when
And
you succeed.
I'm not talking about parents. See, parents are extensions of our body.
See, people when they start, I saw a friend, I will not name her.
Mm.
When I met her after 10, 15 years, she was surprised and she asked me 15 times, is this your destination? How did you do it?
Mm.
And like she was so surprised to see that. I was like, yes, I did that. Like they were happy when I was crying, but they're not happy to see me this way. Okay, so people enjoy when but they get surprised. There's a saying that I think there's a dialogue in Three Idiots movie that when you fail, you're sad, but आपका friend fail होता है, you're sad, but जब आपका friend बहुत अच्छे नंबर से पास होता है तब ज्यादा दुखी होते हैं, you're
Yes.
more sad. That's what
Yes.
happens.
Mm.
And even in
And see,
today's society, Meena,
yeah.
if
Mm.
you grow,
Mm.
how is she growing? How is
Yeah.
she working? How can
True.
she do that? Everyone is there to stop you.
Yes. And not
Right?
only that,
People are
see,
there to create that roadblocks.
yeah. And not only that, see, what happens is, when you're of a younger age, you do not know yourself so well. So sometimes these negative, comments can have a negative effect on you when you start self-doubting yourself and you start
I took
feeling
it the other
insecure.
way. I took
Yeah.
it the other way.
Hmm.
The more negative people used to tell me, okay, ye kya kar legi, kar kya legi, the
Huh.
more they used to tell me, the more stronger I became.
Yeah.
The
You
more
use it
people
as,
told me, the more stronger I became.
yeah.
So, what happens is, what I feel is, it's not about your family, as you said, it is about your nearby.
Yeah.
How can, the day I became a manager, how can, she become a manager?
Yeah.
Look at the data, look at the data to support me, look at
Yes.
my entire career.
Yes.
So on and so forth. There were people who came, who stopped me. I never bothered. I kept moving. E- Now that the organization I am, thankfully, I don't face any such thing anymore as a president here
Yeah.
for government
Yeah.
and retail. I
Yeah.
don't feel and face anything. And this is my mission. I go forward and I tell everyone, anyone who comes to me, I said no, from my maid to anyone who comes to me. I see them facing domestic violence. I tell them, quit, fight for yourself. My maid had no courage to leave her husband. I said, get your bank account, maid. I'll start transferring your money in that bank account. I'll not allow you to take this money home, give it to your drunkard husband, and get beaten and come back to me. So she got that courage, and now she's fighting it back. Now her husband is
Tell
saying, you
me.
get paid from your TV wali ma'am.
Yeah.
TV wali madam तुमको बिगाड़ रही है. She is getting all those stuff. But I said, no, just I educate each and every one, from my maids so far to any woman who comes, any friend who comes to me. Look, I don't have that courage. I said, then the story is over. You don't have the courage, the story is over.
Tell me something,
For me,
Meenu. See, why don't we find women like you in politics? See, the kind of women we find there, are always saying, because of this person I'm here, because of that person I'm here, thanks to him or thanks to her. Why don't we find people like you in politics?
I think people like me who are straightforward, they don't have a place there.
Yeah.
I'm very straight. It's a knife, it's a knife. It cannot be anything else.
Yeah.
It's a sword, it's a sword. So that's how it is.
Yeah.
And politics, yes, views are different, but you won't get people like you. You need to go through that roller coaster ride. Politics is not that easy. So
Okay, you
if
tell
you are
me.
that straight, you won't survive.
You tell me about the phase when you started coming so ferociously on social media when we met. Talk about that
Yes.
period.
2010, yes, that was a
Yes,
time when we were looking
we all
forward to
joined.
change the then government, to bring a change, and together we all did it. Meena, we did it. We were the initial people on Twitter who were so vocal about each and everything.
Yes,
Remember? I
yes,
remember you being there, Nandita, Shilpa, a few people,
yes.
Jignesh
Few
being there,
women,
Suresh.
very few women. Yes,
Very few, but in women, you very few. Mamta was there, Mamta Madan
yes,
was there, you were there. Very few handles I remember then being so active.
yeah,
I was, one of my social media pages used to be open because that used to be where I used to vent out whatever used to happen in politics, but I maintained that distance, that work is one.
yeah,
Highlighting what the government is going wrong is another. Even today, I do the same, right? So you are branded as whatever, it's okay.
yeah. You did a very amazing, thing when one of the, people in social media fell grievously ill, and you
Rudra
did,
Shekhar
yeah,
Day.
yeah, you did an amazing, job. Could you tell our viewers about it?
Yes, it was actually 24th of September 2013. I still remember the date. It was my dad's birthday. And along with my mom and my daughter, we were out for a lunch at barbecue. And suddenly I saw a tweet from BJP UP's handle that Rudra Hindu is not traceable. Can anyone tell me about this guy from last 5 days? There's no update from them. And the place which was written was, it was said, from Jamshedpur. Okay, and that place actually caught my attention. I said, yeah, ये तो मेरे hometown का लड़का है. And I saw Rudra Hindu on Twitter, a young guy, 22, 23-year-old chap. So I called my son. He was in Jamshedpur then. I said, can you find out? There are only two big hospitals in Jamshedpur, Tata Motors and Tisco. So I said, please just go and see where is this guy, because people are, getting anxious. They're asking about his whereabouts, and I know this guy. So I never met him before. So my son went. He said, "Mummy, there is this name. Uh, give me his full name." And in Twitter, you have so many aliases. I was not aware about his name. I said, "Jao, Rudra, say whatever name is, find out." So he said, "There's one guy in PMH called Rudra Shekhar Day. Is he the guy?" So I asked Anilji, that is this the guy, Anilji? He said, yes. Yeah. So I said, what is the problem with him, Anand? Anand is my son's name. He said, Mom, he has liver failure, and doctors have advised a liver transplant in Medanta. Parents were not capable of bringing him to Medanta, and that's it. So then I shared this with the folks out here, and very soon this message was spread over to the BJP circles, the right wing circle, and Smriti ji helped me. Shilpi came forward to help me, and then next morning I asked my son, go and tell his father that we are sending an air ambulance. So just imagine a son who is very critical in hospital. Someone goes and tells a father, an air ambulance is coming from Delhi to pick up your son. He will feel that it is a prank on him.
Yeah,
He did not believe it. Then he
yeah,
said, my son said, look, my mom is on the phone, talk to her.
yeah,
Then Ruth's father said that आप क्यों मेरे लड़के के लिए प्लेन भेजेंगे, मेरे पास पैसे नहीं है. I said, uncle, don't worry about the money. It is party who is doing it. People are supporting me. That's where I'm also from Jamshedpur. And that's exactly, I don't know from where the courage came. And in the morning, he said, okay, I'll see that if the plane comes, my son will survive. I've lost all hope. I said, fair. At 5 in the morning, Medanta doctors were there at Delhi airport, and the aircraft flew from here to
yeah,
Jamshedpur.
yeah.
And then I called my son. The aircraft has taken over, and it will be landing in Jamshedpur in a short time. Get the discharge stuff made, and And Smriti ji and the BJP team, Alok Bhatt, I remember Jemin was there, Alok was there. There were a few more folks who were there who were helping me. Tejinder was there, Vikas ji was there, Vikas Pandey was there. They all were standing behind me. But here only I was the face in Jamshedpur who knew someone. So till the time the Rudra was attended, I was there with his father. Rudra was brought to Medanta. He was admitted till 2nd, it was okay. 2nd of October, it was okay. After that, he developed pneumonia. And on 7th of October 2013, he left us. But social media, from where we got together, Meena, stood rock solid behind that Rudra. We stood as unity. We had prayers. We had people coming up to Medanta asking for his well-being. I saw another part of, a very different part of Bharatiya Janata Party then.
Yes.
Rudra, before dying, had tweeted around 15 days before he died that I wish to go on a BJP flag.
Yeah.
And it was a protocol that you do not get a BJP flag if you're not an office bearer. Tejinder and Vikas Pandey got the BJP flag. They went, they requested, and they got the flag. And his last wish was fulfilled. And then a day before his birthday, so I saw a very different part, that what you give to the society, you get it back. And we did it without anything that what will I get in return.
Yeah, second thought, sir.
15 days I was working from Medanta, from the hospital, because Rud's father was all alone. He was a diabetic. So I used to ensure that he gets proper food, proper care. He gets that courage to see his ailing son.
Yeah.
And I made a distance from media. I did not want to come forward, because when you do some charity, you should not sell it.
Yeah.
I am quoting this now because it is a very old story now.
Yes. But Meena, at that time you also said that the chief minister called you.
Yes, I remember getting a call from
whose friends, viewers, now our Prime Minister.
The chief minister was Mr. Narendra Modi. He called, and the call came on my cell phone. And when I saw CM of Gujarat calling, for a second my hand was, the landline number was there. It was shaking. And then he spoke to Rud's father. And Rud's father was almost in tears. And he said, "Main Narendra Modi bol raha hu." He spoke to the father, he consoled him. And after that, Rud's father started crying. He said, "This man will become the Prime Minister." He was following this case so, every day in and day out.
Who does
so
it?
This was, amazing for a chief minister to call someone.
Yeah.
This is the first time I saw that live, that someone called. He traced my number. He called me. And then he spoke to his father.
Meenu, we've all had experiences about this chief minister who later became the Prime Minister. He was the most tangible human being, who saw each of our tweets. And, when he met us, he commented on it. See,
right.
That was a very different kind of politician.
So very rarely you get to see this kind of politician.
Yes.
Right, an observer. He's a very keen observer. And on a day of Rakhi, he started following us, Meena. I still remember 2012, it was Rakhi, I woke up and I saw Narendra Modi following you on Twitter. I actually panicked. Is it some fake account? Then I saw it's a verified account. I said, yes. I started jumping in joy. And that's it.
When he became the Prime Minister, I got a call. And this was, I was not feeling very well that day. So I was just lying on the sofa. My mother and my husband were talking to each other. So when they were talking, I got a phone call. And they said that, a call from Prime Minister's office. Okay. Meena ji, we want you in Delhi. Prime Minister wants to meet you. And just the same feeling that you had, Meena, same feeling, because this is the kind of Prime Minister that you can, relate with. Someone who cares about you, someone who thinks that you are, you have contributed something to society, and what you did was amazing. And that's why he acknowledged
it. About it.
Yeah, and he acknowledged
after Rudra left, he spoke to his father. He said, I'm deeply saddened by your loss.
Yeah.
And I kept on thinking that, a chief minister is so busy.
Yeah.
The moment he read that on Twitter, he looked for his phone number, who is near him. So he came to know that I was following up the case. So he looked out for my phone number. He
Yeah.
reached out to me. So, Meena,
Amazing.
that was a very different
Yeah. Yeah. Amazing.
experience altogether.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Talking about your rise, in your field, how did the television industry become a part of your, portfolio?
Okay, that's again a very interesting one. Like it all happened last year. I was busy with my IT projects and with lockdown happening. Okay,
Yeah.
even for ITV, it just happened to me because I was doing lots of IT projects for them as well. So that's exactly I got a chance, and there's no looking back. If you know how to do your job, no matter what you do, you can become successful. That's what I can tell my children today. Look, I
Yeah.
excelled in IT, I excelled in media. I do my work with full heart and soul. There is
Yeah.
no ifs and buts.
Yeah. And viewers, NewsX is one of the best channels that speaks the truth. Okay. See, we were looking forward to a channel that would, after Republic, to bring out the truth, and not only that, do well-researched stories. And this is one channel that I'm, very proud of. And Meenakshi, a lot of the credit goes to you. It's an excellent channel. And here, I'd like to ask you a question, that see, a lot of our viewers know what is fake media. Now, this, for example, the Sushant Singh case has been happening for 1 year and 2 months. Okay. And it should be the mainstream media which should be following up on the story and saying
Right.
that, see, we need justice for Sushant Singh. Not one channel, okay, has spoken about it. It's the, public, who have given up a lot of their time just to pursue this and to make sure that, public pressure is on the politicians as well as, the CBI, the federal
Right.
agencies. So, here a question. Why is mainstream media, and I'm not talking about your channel, I'm talking about other channels and newspapers as well, building fake narratives and not focusing on what are the real issues in India? And when I'm saying real issues, I'm not talking about only the negative stories. I'm talking about the positive stories also. Why are we not focusing on that? And who is stopping them?
Many times I feel today's media is divided into three parts. One is the left wing, the right wing, and the centralist. Okay. So somewhere down the line, if you see a news comes like Sushant, it gets lost. It is lost between this web. The moment a TRP is coming on a left wing, the right wing starts focusing on, okay, look at that story. The central wing picks up a story. These two get upset. Okay, look at this. So Sushant got lost into that. Media, if you remember, certain channels chased it for a long time. But after they felt that, but it later on turned out only to be a TRP.
Yeah.
Nothing more than that. The cause was defeated. If you see the lots of findings which were happening every day, there was a new finding happening in Sushant's case. Everything is rested. Where are they now? There's no one to talk about it. There's no one. Where are those files? So it has got lost in the web. As I said, left wing, right wing, and the centralist, a true story gets lost into it.
You remember, when we were so strong on the case of Sunanda Tharoor,
Yes.
how we followed every detail and we
Every
exposed
week.
everything on social media, and look at how it fizzled out. And with only one witness and only one accused, so-called accused,
See,
who was
that
given a
case
plea.
also, if you see, you remember how social media went strong on Sunanda Pushkar, right?
Yes,
Like it was a shock for us to realize that what happened to her,
yes,
So it was the social media who was trying to do the more of journalism rather than the mainstream.
yes,
Somehow it got lost again.
yeah,
How can so many big points, which was later focused and brought to notice, just go neglected? There were no CCTV recordings. Police couldn't get anything.
yeah,
So lots of things were lost again. As I said, left wing, right wing, and it gets more lost in
See,
that web.
yeah. Meenu, let me tell you one incident that happened recently that people were clearly aware that, mainstream media was building fake news. When, yeah, if you're, yeah, okay.
Yes, sorry.
Yeah, when Salman Khan went to the airport, he was flying to Russia, and he went in, with full confidence. He removed his mask, thinking that he'll just be just allowed in without any
Yes,
any.
it happened
He was
recently, right?
stopped. Yeah, he was stopped by a CISF
This
officer.
CRPF, right?
Yeah, and asked to show his credentials. Now, what happened was, we didn't know, okay? All this media, like Times of India and New Indian Express and all of them, and a whole lot of channels started saying that, see, this boy was punished and his phone was taken because he did this. He spoke to media or whatever. Now, I also got a little annoyed and my blood boiled, and I, CC'd Prime Minister and Amit Shah and said that, see, if people follow rules, is it wrong in India? Why did this boy get punished according to the report in news, in New Indian Express? Immediately, I got a reply from CISF saying that, no, wrong, ma'am, you're wrong. The report is wrong. We, in fact, honored him and rewarded him for his professional behavior. Now, Meenu, see, which exposed every mainstream media, and nobody's taking action. Why aren't they taking action? Meenu, because in which case, this sort of thing, it has been happening before with Barkadat and all the other types, okay? It will continue. Why is there no penalty being levied on, when they make such news?
We have to find out a way where people who spread fake news, these fake narratives,
Yeah.
they should get penalized. Their license should be revoked.
Yeah.
They just cannot go ahead and do all this. There should be some kind of punishment, they should be, or else
And
if you don't do that, these kind of fake news
that
will
journalist
keep
should be pulled
floating.
up. See, that journalist may be, pushed by somebody else, but that journalist has
Just
to be pulled up.
cancel their license.
Yeah.
Suspend them for some time.
Yes.
Don't allow them to put any article for, say, 6 months, 8 months, 10 months, so that they learn a lesson.
Yeah. Okay,
So
Meenu, my next.
things are not that easy. But this way they spread this fake news, and fake news has to stop.
Yeah.
You
Meenu, my
remember,
next
these WhatsApp forwards and all, these are just a part of the fake news.
Yes.
They are just a narrative, negative, false narrative made this way.
Yeah. My next question is, how do you, what is the formula for making a channel successful? Your channel is one of the best in present Indian channels. So tell us, what makes your channel a success?
We went ahead with no noise, only news.
Yeah.
We did not want that screaming around, and we did not want that one theory that only I will scream, I'll bang the table, and no one else will do. We went ahead with good panel. We went ahead with good research. We went ahead with the current topic. We chose selected people. We went ahead with new faces. You would have seen a new face today, a new program starting on Music.
A good friend, Savio. Yes.
So again, that's a new face.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what we do. We go ahead. We look for new faces. We look for talent, and that's how we promote them.
Yeah.
I specifically look into that, Meena.
Yeah. It's very important, because see, people look to you,
Or
for genuine
else, if you
news.
see the other channels, you'll find the same guest on channel 1. On the other channel, you'll find the same guest coming, and nothing changes. You'll not feel that you've just changed the channel. You'll feel that you're watching the same channel. There has to be something different.
But tell me, Meenu, how far does the advertiser have a hold on television news?
In our case, not at all. We don't let advertisers or sponsors dictate our program. We do our show, and the advertisers follow us. Even if the advertisers don't follow us, we don't care.
Yeah.
So you would have seen, like Rishabh does a great job on NewsX, and so does on India News Arrest. We don't care about anything. We just go ahead with it.
Yeah. Okay. Going back to your family, see, we've been seeing some beautiful pictures of your daughter and your son getting married, in between all this heavy schedule of yours. How do you manage all this? I mean, you're there in complete attire with the most beautiful sari and jewelry, doing all the rituals. How do you get this? I mean, you're on one end, you're stressed with a job, and on the other end, you're so
That's a very
relaxed.
different avatar, Meena. That's a very different avatar. Okay. So I
Yes.
still remember, like, it was my daughter's wedding and I did not know many rituals. So
Yeah.
I had to call my mother. Okay,
Yeah.
please come over. Now it was COVID time. We had those guest limitations. So we had to do the wedding in a very limited guest set. So I wanted to do what I couldn't do in my life.
Yeah.
Okay. So I wanted to live that wedding with, I know, the dreams
Yeah.
which I couldn't get.
Yeah.
I wanted to do it at my daughter's wedding.
Yeah.
So similarly for my in even in my son's engagement, I did the same. I said, just live it. This is the day. Now you just cannot be. Abhi kaun kya dekhega? I am wearing this sari. Who are the people to judge on you? No
Yeah.
one should judge for you.
So you see your children more as friends.
Yeah, and I live my life. Whatever dreams I had dreamt about myself, which could not happen, I relive it with them. So when I see my daughter going out for dinner, for dressing something, I live my life with it. Same with my son and my daughter-in-law. So this is how life is. So it is not about Meena. It's not about sitting, crying, cribbing. It is about setting up the next goalpost. So I do that. It's not that
See,
I do it. My children support me in doing it, and they are equally supportive.
See, in Kerala, it is the matriarchal system that we have where women are very strong. So you are the true matriarch.
No, women are strong. If you see, we have a very rich culture of women who have fought for the country, and it is not today, it has been our history,
Yes.
right? So women have been strong. It is only from time to time, you know, it is like the male dominated society, they don't allow you to grow. That's what I faced in my life. That's it. The day I overcame it, I throw it around. I never came across any obstacle.
So what kind of a mother-in-law are you?
I'm cool. I'm cool. So for my daughter-in-law, there's only one thing, okay? Work, continue your studies. घर का काम के लिए काम वाली बाई है. So you don't have to be that काम वाली बाई with a sar pe aachal. No, no, no. Just like my daughter. Same
Yeah.
rule is applied on my daughter. Same rule is applied on my daughter-in-law. There's no two ways of living life.
So you're a mother.
So yes, say there's no two ways of living life. That my daughter will do it, you cannot do it. My daughter can wear this. You are my daughter-in-law, you cannot wear it. No, she is my daughter. She comes from a family. The family has given that to me, a responsibility. That's all I look at.
Yeah.
So many times, my son tells me, more than me, you are her mother. You support her. I said, yes, I do. So many times I don't give a gift to my son, but I'll give it to my daughter-in-law.
Yeah.
So she'll say, "Mujhse zyada to tum uski mummy ho." I said, "Yes, I am." She's wrong. Why you're scolding me? No, she's right. You're wrong. So I pamper her. I pamper my children, all four. So as I said, I came here alone. I used to cry on festivals, but now I'm a family of five. My son-in-law, my daughter, my daughter-in-law. So it's a big family, Meena. So
So
no
what are
longer
the
see families on the background. You'll find one photograph of
yes.
the backdrop. That's the family.
Yeah, they are your backbone.
Yes. So when I go out, after my daughter's wedding, I used to cry that how will I live after you are gone? How will I come back? The marriage was happening from a banquet hall. So I said, after your vidai, how will I go back, beta? How will I see your room? So I came home, I went in a room, I got a teddy bear, a big teddy bear, and I named her Trisha. I dressed her up and I put her on a bed. It was a winter wedding. So I put a blanket and I used to put music in her room. And later on, I got used to it. Now that she is married, I tuned my mind. I was not ready to accept that my daughter, she's in a sasural. Good. And she gets equally treated the way I always used to dream that, okay, a daughter should be treated like this. She's treated like a daughter, not a daughter-in-law. So even in my house, my daughter-in-law is also, I give her all the liberty what she wants. Live your life.
Yeah.
Yes, but don't make any such mistake where tomorrow the society will hold you wrong, bad. Be very careful, because many times children take liberty for granted.
Yeah.
Don't do that. That's it.
And it's also very important as women that we should say no to dowry. You have to
Yes.
set an example for others to follow.
See, dowry, now I'll tell you something. Um for my son's wedding, for my daughter's wedding. There are two weddings in the house. My daughter is already got married, and my son is getting married in November. He's engaged. So my would-be daughter-in-law stays with me. She's working here, and she's also studying here. I'm continuing her studies, and she's working here as well. So there were two things. For my daughter's wedding, her mother-in-law is again equally against dowry. I did not pay any dowry. My son-in-law is capable enough to take care of her. And similarly, for my daughter-in-law, I've said one thing to her parents very clearly: come in the mandir, do the kanyadan, done, sorted. You don't need to spend, so much in this lavish wedding, and not at all. I don't even need a spoon.
Yeah.
And it was my son. It's a love marriage, so I'll tell you something with my experience. What do you do with your experience? So I told my son, I'll go to the girl's house only the day when you buy a house, you furnish it so that there is nothing in your mind, rotten mind. Because I'm very blunt at times.
Yeah. Yeah.
You should give that girl everything what she wants.
Yeah.
So he said the day he did that, the next month I took a flight to my hometown. The girl comes from Jamshedpur. So I met her parents. I convinced them, this is my son and this is me, and they were happy enough to let the girl come with me. I enrolled her here. She started working here, and that's how it is.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So
See,
education is the best wealth you
yes.
can give your child,
Yeah.
and it is only education. That's what helped me.
Yeah. Here, see, can you tell, there are a lot of single parents, among our viewers as well. Can you tell these single parents, these women, how they should manage their lives without fear of the inevitable?
See, one thing I would tell the single mothers, there would be lots of stuff when you try to work out of something that will pull you back. People, one will be the society, one will be the person from which you are just trying to make your own weight. That person, because they are all a set of egos. They won't allow you to succeed. Just don't think about it. I used to, the way I did was I started meditating. I used to get up in the morning. I used to look at everything which was related to nature, which was greenery, park. I used to walk in the park. I used to think all positive stuff. I started listening to music, and I gave no room to myself to go back to past. The regressive thinking, just give up. Don't allow anyone who will give you a call and start from your past.
Yeah.
Because there's one thing very I used to tell people that 2005 के बाद 2006 आएगा. It will be 2006 which will come, not 2004. So don't remind me about my past. It will not be 1990, 91, 92. Those are gone. Now what is going to come is 2006, 7, 8, and 9, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So I need to plan for that. It was not easy, and it won't be easy for the single mothers. Start educating your children, and if you have daughters, do that. Tell them, because they are the best source who will understand your pain. My daughter understands that. She uses my surname. She says, I'm Trisha Singh. I'm Meenakshi Singh's daughter. Simple. So for single moms, just go ahead. Don't look at things which pull you back. Focus. your mindset, just change it. Focus on books, like music, look at everything natural, because then only you can win from here. You lose from here, you win from here.
Have you ever
It is
come
all
across
in your
men?
mind.
Yeah, have you ever come across men who seem to see you with a little bit of, skepticism that whether you can, hold a post, such a high post, and do it,
All
so easily?
throughout, all throughout, it has been. Now it is not there because now I'm the topper, so now it is no longer there. But yes, it has been. With every promotion, again she got a promotion, again she got this data, again she got this award. Come on, look at my stats, look at the data, look at the achievements. It's numbers speaking for me, not anything else. But yes, people are there, they won't work, but they want everything in life.
Yeah,
So yes, people, they don't see you, they don't like you grow.
yeah,
Just Larry, how can this girl do it? Okay,
mm,
because it's a slap. It's a male-dominated society many times. As I
yes,
said, now things
yeah,
are changing.
yeah,
So when Kiran Bedi came up, people were like, Kiran Bedi, Kiran Bedi, Kiran Bedi. Like Kiran Bedi was Kiran Bedi. There were so
yeah,
many female in
exactly,
police, but it was
exactly,
only Kiran Bedi because
yeah,
they did not want to accept that there can be a Kiran Bedi.
yeah,
So more than Kiran Bedi, it was that it she cannot do it. She cannot be an IPS. How can she be a Kiran Bedi? You know. Likewise with me, I remember like the man whom I walked out in my marriage. He threatened me. I was working in Delhi, India. I still remember. And he said, I'll come and I'll see you in Gurgaon. I said, look, this is my scooty number. That time I had a scooty. So, and I leave office at so and so time. And this is my sector. Have guts, come. I'll see you. I
yeah,
gave my scooty number and the time I leave office. And he said, you have guts, come, I'll see you. And from there on and so on, he never threatened me after that,
yeah,
because that was the time I realized that I need to overcome my threat. These threatening calls. I never looked at it. I never got scared anymore.
yeah, yeah. What were the things that you learned, see, as guiding lights in your life, and that you cherish even now?
See, life is very easy. We only complicate it, Meena.
Mm,
Life is very easy. We complicate it every day. Okay, we just make a havoc of everything. I have to do this now, I'll make it a havoc. Oh, I have to do this, I'll look like a burden. Life is very easy. So for me, I have realized the challenges. I was the same person 30 years ago. It was me, my mindset, the tuning which I had, that I was not ready to rebel. The day I rebelled, everything fell in line.
mm. There are lots of messages
People,
for you.
I what I tell you is, Meena, what I
Yeah,
feel, that it's all in the mind. Life is very easy. Okay, so I tell the same to my children as well, even to my daughter, my son, my daughter-in-law. My son-in-law is well educated, he understands. So that's what I've given to my children. So life is very easy. Don't complicate it with all these ifs and buts and burdens and all. Just live your life. That's what I can say.
yeah. Also, if you can take life one day at a time and enjoy that one day to its full, as it's the last day in your life, that will give you a lot of happiness, because you
Yes.
don't need to look at the next day.
See, for me, I live each and every moment, Meena. I
Yeah,
have four, I can live four lives at one time.
yeah,
Okay. I am going to be 50 this year.
yeah,
So I can say, okay, I'm ready to become a senior citizen in 10 years. I am very childish by nature at the same time. So the
yeah,
child in me is intact. At the same time, I'm still not grown. So many times I feel, okay, I have the scope of growing as well. So I can live many lives at the same time. A reader in me on a weekend, a music lover on me on any early mornings, a spiritual learner anytime. So every day is a new me.
yeah,
And I keep identifying myself.
yeah. So they're saying you don't look like you have a daughter of that age, or a daughter-in-law and son-in-law.
They should visit my timeline
I
and my
think
page
I
to
think
see
you're the
that.
first woman to reveal her age.
No, so I'm going to be 50 only a one day after you, Meena. So you're second, and I'm 3rd October. So I remember my birthday. I remember your birthday for that sake.
Yeah.
So we just
No.
follow our birthday a day, just in different.
Yeah.
So yours is second, and mine is third. So on yours,
Yours,
the nation
yeah.
celebrates.
Yeah.
I was
What a
also about
lovely.
to.
Yeah.
I was
What
about to
a.
be born on the same day, but
Okay.
unfortunately, I was born a few hours later,
Yeah.
so it shifted to the 3rd of October.
My only, a little bit of, sadness is that, see, we need strong women in politics. We do not
Yes.
want women who are showpieces. Now, here you are, talking about how successful you have become because of your sheer hard work and the fact that you never looked, over your shoulder. See, it is women like you, who need to be the pillar in our politics. Unfortunately, we have women who think they are women. You see, that is the wrong concept. There is no difference between a man and a woman. What you have done is, the work of 10 men in your life. And if we had more women like you in politics, I'm sure the country would have been different. And if we had more judges, more women police, the whole thing would have been different. So all of us salute you, Meenu, and also the tremendous journey that you have gone through to become so successful, and also share your lovely story with us. Our viewers are thankful to you, and I'm also very thankful because not only a friend but a very successful woman has joined Candid
Thank
Meena,
you.
to express her
Best wishes to
beautiful
all your
story.
viewers from me and my all my channels. I represent all the print type papers I represent, and love to all your viewers all across. Thank you for watching us.
Thank you, Meenu, and good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night.